seconds. Well, this has been billed as a record attempt by Genzebe Dibaba. And that really would be something. Not the conditions, I think, for very quick running, I have to say. A little breezy, the temperature's absolutely perfect, but the wind perhaps just too much to contend with. And I'm not convinced either they've got the level of pacemakers in this to go that quick that Genzebe Dibaba would need. So Dibaba being set up for her. She's also got the world champion Helen Obiri in the race with her. Obiri not been in the best of form. I'm told that Obiri just hoping that she's been a little flat in recent weeks and trying to put that right, and now hoping that best running the rest of the season is ahead of her. The world champion didn't perform well in Doha either last time out. We saw her at the Diamond League there, that fast 3,000 meters on that occasion. But this is really our first look at Genzebe Dibaba, and they set off pretty quickly, so no hanging around here. So McGee has been brought in. We were going to have Van Buskirk, who ran last night, the Canadian, looked pretty awful last night, to be fair, in the domestic 1500 meter race, so maybe decided that she might not be best suited to take this. So McGee taking the early pace in the 5,000 meters. We'll pick up that shortly. Men's shot put. This is Ryan Krauser, and he loves competing here. Look at that personal best, 22.65. That's a huge effort early on from Krauser. Great field here. Tom Walsh is here. Ryan Whiting, Darren Hill, Joe Kovac. Great men's shot put, and they've been given top billing here as well. Why not? The big men in the center. Krauser, 21.98. That takes an early lead. So Corey McGee leading this. Halali will be asked to tick it up, and then Bassani. After that, Genzebe Dibaba happy. You can see Helen Obiri in the white just sitting off the pace a little bit. Gidey, this talented young Ethiopian, a little further back. She's improving all the time as well. Could have Sigai in this as well. So McGee just moving away from the others. Maybe going a little quick. It's coming up to approach 1,000 meters. So if you were going to run world record pace, you'd be looking for something around 250. Kovac in the shot put, 21.98. Well, that's not going to challenge that, is it? Had a foul in the first round. Joe Kovac, former world champion, Olympic silver medalist. Not one of his best. Well, Tom Walsh has been in great form, and Ryan Krauser will know that Walsh has definitely got him in it, got it within himself to produce big performances here, but Krauser started well, 21.98. Walsh, the world leader, 22.67. Krauser, 22.21, his season's best. Can he extend his lead here? No. Just got the timing a little off there. You heard himself. A word of encouragement, should we put it that way? Still in the lead though, 21.98 for Ryan Krauser in the first round. So no improvement there. First 1,000 meters completed in 2:52, pretty swift, and they've kept that pace moving on. That's why they're all so well strung out here in this women's 5,000 meters. Genzebe Dibaba, Sigai right up there, Gidey, who their two younger teammates, Lilian Rengeruk with Helen Obiri, and Bata of Sweden, former Eritrean in that group also. Halali, well, she's had about no more than 600 meters in the front, so it's going to be left to Bassani to try and keep this going. Pace just dropping all of the time. And I just think it's always ambitious. Dibaba comes to these meets saying, I think I'm in world record shape, but if you're going to run 14:11 in this breeze, you really got to go some. And sadly, what we often see is beginning to happen here. They just get a little bit slower in the middle of the race, and then when she gets left on her own, doesn't really want to lead the others out. So she's looking behind, just wondering who's there. As I said, she'll see Gidai, she'll see Sigai, the shorter of the two, Rengaruk, Obiri, Barta, only ones in this lead group here. So Bassani, well, she's doing a pretty good job, but you know, when you're asked to run, though, they set off attempting to run 68 seconds per lap. As I said, I think it's just a little bit ambitious. We'll get the 2,000 meter split as they come through. First 1,000 meters was 2:52. This one looks as though it's going to be a bit slower. So Dibaba's going to be left in front. And then I guess the question is, does she really want to pick it up? It's still early stages here. They're 5:52. So much slower there, 3-minute kilometer. And now just picking it up a little bit, just gaps starting to appear all of a sudden. But Genzebe Dibaba knows it's not going to be a super quick time here. That will please the others. And she'll just have to be careful with the likes of Sigai and Gidei. They're fast improving. Sigai, of course, great speed over 1,500 meters. Not quite as quick as Genzebe Dibaba. Dibaba these days seems more intent on running 5,000 meters rather than the shorter 1,500. Tom Walsh in the shot put. Krauser leading with 21.98. 21.65 for Walsh in the first round. This is the second round. That's better. That is better. Not sure it'll contest the lead. Tom Walsh of New Zealand. Great couple of years. The world champion last summer. Followed it up with the world indoor title in Birmingham. And then in the Gold Coast, he was the red-hot favourite to win there, of course, and he managed to do it. Didn't have to perform too well, but he did pull out at 21.41. And qualifying in those Commonwealth Games was even longer than that, they're well over 22 metres. Now, Tirunesh Dibaba, her older sister, not here today, of course. Genzebe Dibaba leading in the women's 5,000 metres. The pace having dropped, she's picked it up again. Sigai and Gidei, the two Ethiopian teammates, these two great talents just behind her there. 68-second lap for Dibaba, and Helen Obiri hanging on to this. A better performance from Obiri so far. Genzebe Dibaba left out there with these three following her, and this will be a bit of a test. No chance of the sort of times which they said they were aiming for. The wind never going to help that. I'm not sure really that it was ever something that was a realistic target. Pacemakers that were chosen, in my money, were never ever going to be able to keep that sort of pace going for 5-6 laps, even further than that. So it's a bit of a lone push here for Dibaba. Keeps looking up at the screen, and she'll see she's got company. Sigai, just 21. Gidei, 20 years of age, the World Cross Country Junior Champion a few years back, showed that she's well capable of producing quick times at 5,000 meters. Has already run 14:30 in her career. Good performance in Doha, 8:30 over 3,000 meters. Another 68-second lap for Dibaba, so she's making this hard. Helen Obiri still with them, the world champion with the three Ethiopians. 8:45 through 3,000 meters. So she picked up in that third K after a pretty slow second kilometer, 2:50. And that's why there's just four of them. That's why they've split away from the rest of the field. These four, the class act here, for my money. Dibaba just looking as though she's working pretty hard here. Gidei looks very comfortable, the 20-year-old. Into second place. Sigai doesn't have too much experience at 5,000 meters yet, although, as I said, such a good 1,500 meter runner. and maybe eyeing this longer distance as one which she wants to take on in her career. So Tsegay just starting to look a little tired. A small gap appearing. Dibaba looks over her shoulder, sees that the very comfortable, almost majestic looking Gidey is on her shoulder. And look at this, the youngster thinking, okay, if you can't keep this going, I can. Helen Obiri just goes past Tsegay, realizes that the 1500-meter specialist is not going to stay with this pace, and Tsegay's going to have a tough last few laps there. Gidey leads from Dibaba, then Helen Obiri, the world champion. Genzebe Dibaba has yet to really crack the sort of time that she thinks she's capable of at 5,000 meters. It's not going to happen today. The main thing she'll be concentrating on is, can she win this? Crowd enjoying this, the three of them well clear now of Tsegay, who herself is well clear of fifth and sixth. So they come round this time with 3 laps to go in the women's 5,000 meters. Gidey leading, Dibaba tucked in behind her in second place. Almost pushed Gidey into the lead after she'd led for a good few laps, and that's another good lap from Gidey. Helen Obiri, the world champion, under a little bit of pressure now. '72nd lap for Gidey. But on top of those 68s that we saw from Dibaba, this is starting to hurt here as they approach the last 1,000 meters. Just over 2.5 laps to go. Gidey, this former cross-country exponent where so many of the Ethiopians have begin their distance career, of course, and then move on to the track. And I think one or two thought that maybe she wasn't going to be able to run so well on the track, but she's got a lovely action and putting the kind of mental fortitude that you find on cross-country into the track, and if you can combine that with the right pace and speed, then you've got every chance of being successful. So Helen Obiri now struggling, the world champion who's not been having a great year so far. Said she's been having a few problems in terms of how she's felt. A little bit iron deficient, we're told, and certainly trying to rectify that. This has been a better performance so far from Obiri today, but not able to live with these two Ethiopians. Gidey now, with Dibaba just starting to hover on her shoulder, and you'd have to think that when this comes down to a sprint, surely Genzebe Dibaba is going to be able to take on her young teammate, who only has ever run 4:11 for 1,500 meters. She's strong, but she's not quick, not as quick as Dibaba. Helen Obiri having a little look behind the world champion, still fighting. And now Dibaba sensing that the victory could well be hers here, because Gidey surely is not going to be able to muster the sort of speed that Genzebe Dibaba can. As they approach the bell, Dibaba moves back into the lead. Gidey in second place. Helen Obiri, the world champion, in third, and Dibaba stretches away. Gidey will do her best to hang on to her. Dibaba still hasn't quite broken her young teammate. And it's going to be another hard race for Dibaba, and that lead just extending with every single stride. Down the back straight, Gidey doing her best, but she just doesn't quite possess the pace of Dibaba. But she will get stronger, and one day she may well be able to stay with her and even run away. But if she leaves it until the last 400 meters, this is what's going to happen. Dibaba can do this to anybody when she's on top form. And it's still going to be a pretty quick clocking here, despite that very slow second kilometer. Genzebe Dibaba, as the crowd rise, stretching away here. She's going to shatter the world lead. Nobody's run under 15 minutes so far this year. She may well get under 14:30 here. Genzebe Dibaba wins the 5,000, 14:26. Gidey might be just inside her personal best in second place, and Helen Obiri has to settle for third. Well, Dibaba asked for the race to be set up for a 14:10 run. There was nowhere near that once that second kilometre was as slow as it was. She did pick it up through third kilometre, asked her teammate to do a bit of work, which she did heroically. And then Dibaba did what she does best, just turns on the burners. Didn't really have to extend as quick as she is sometimes capable of, but Genzebe Dibaba more than enough for Gidey. In fact, Gidey has been rewarded with a personal best, not by much, just shaving her best by a couple of seconds for 14:30.29 for the 20-year-old. So Genzebe Dibaba wins 14:26.89, personal best for Gidey. Season's best for Obiri, certainly looking a lot better than we saw her in Doha. And season's best for many of those further down. Personal best for Dominique Scott in 8th place.
Thanks so much.
72.1.5 in the lead. Wall 71.8.
I think that was a pretty solid run from Dibaba. Did what she had to do. She certainly looks in shape, and I think with better pacemaking, maybe a little later in the season, certainly be well under 14:20, maybe under 14:15. Well, record though, it's still a tough one. So her older sister went in Manchester last week on